Good evening, everyone. If the sound is okay, please just hit like. We're going just to wait for 2 minutes until so that we have a good number of participants. Thank you, Muhammad Omar. Thank you, Taraf. Thank you, everyone. We'll start within a few minutes, inshallah. Okay, I think we need to start now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the official page of Queen Rania Teacher Academy. My name is Khal. I'm an English teacher educator at Queen Rania Teacher Academy. Today, we're going to shed the light on how to teach writing online, and I hope that we will benefit from this session. So, as you know, being able to write well in English is an incredible skill. This is true for both English language learners and even for native speakers. It goes without saying that writing in English is a key ability for the future, and it helps you think and communicate in a clear way. And also it improves the way you structure ideas. And of course, there are extra benefits such as jobs, careers, and travel. But sometimes we all need help. Writing in any language is really tough. And even some of the most famous and creative writers in English face their own setbacks and problems. And as you know, in light of COVID-19, both students and teachers have faced lots of problems in writing, and even their handwriting has deteriorated. That's why we decided to have this session today, and we're going to shed the light on some of the, let's say, resources and some of the techniques that might be helpful for English language teachers when teaching writing online. So as a start, I'm going to start off with what we call a chain story. A chain story, if you have a face-to-face classroom, what you do, we usually the teacher writes like a prompt and then asks the students to complete the story. How can we do this in online? There are different ways to do this. One of them is to just simply using the chat box that you have in the platform that you're using, whether Zoom, Teams, Google Meets, whatever. You can start off the conversation and write to your students the prompt, and then they can go on. However, there is another way to do this using Padlet, and maybe Padlet is one of the best tools that we can use, or websites that we can use to help students in their writing. So I'm going to model this with you. You have two options. I'm going now to put a link for the Padlets, and I'm going to start off the prompts. My sentence will be, let's say I was driving my car. Let me just copy paste the link and put it to you on the let's say the comments. And all you need to do is just to log into the go follow the link, and then you can complete the story. Here we go. You can find the link in the comments under my name, Khalid, and you just need to follow this link in order to let's say to complete the Padlet. I'm going also to share my screen with you so that you can see what's going on. I'm going just to write the first sentence. Let's say I was driving my car and let me share my screen with you. Here we go. Can you see my screen now? Okay, so if you would like, you can complete the story by using this Padlet. I started off the prompts. You can log into the link, and then you can, let's say, complete the story. We'll wait for your answers for like 1 minute. We're just waiting. So this is one way. If you can just go to Padlet and add your comments, you can click on the plus button here and add comments, or you can just, for instance, I was driving. Suddenly, you can even add any word. Suddenly, and مثلا happened. And then the students are going, so suddenly, like someone write, when I see my friend, yes, suddenly an accident happened or whatever. So seeing the friend is much better than having an accident. So, and that's it. Here we have like a timeline, and someone wrote a baby was crossing the road with his mom, or someone also wrote a cat crossed in front. So here we help our students like start off learn how to write what we call chain story. And you can follow the sentences that your students are writing. Someone write it was, and they didn't complete it. You can complete it. It was cloudy. Thank you. And it's good because it's anonymous, so students won't feel shy if they make mistakes on Padlets here. And that's it. You go through it. It's like a timeline. I'm going to show you how I created this one. It's super simple. I'll go back to dashboard. Thanks to everyone who participated in this activity. All you need to do is just to click on make a Padlet. And once you clicked on it, just a minute. Okay. Yes, here are my Padlet, for instance. You click on make my Padlet. You choose one from these ones. I'm sorry, just a minute. Okay, so this is another one, for instance, my dazzling Padlet. You just, let's say, choose a title, and then the students can follow up. So I'm gonna stop sharing now. That was just a starter. This is called again Padlet, and I think it's a very popular tool, digital tool to be used. You can easily use it with your students. And let's just check out the comments here if you have any question. Some people said yes. I don't know if yes is related to the comments. Yes, I added the link, Jude. So that's the first step. It's using what we call Padlet. Now, there is something very important that some teachers do and others do not, which is having like a needs analysis and checking out the readiness of your student, which is part of differentiation. I think we talked about differentiation before, like 3 or 4 months ago in one of the live sessions. And in order to check the students' writing readiness, there are different ways to do this. One of them is using what we call writing surveys. And if you are in a face-to-face classroom, you just simply photocopy the survey and distribute it to your students, and then they just fill it in. However, if it's online, I think it's much easier because you don't have to go through every single one and correct them, because we have now, thanks to, for instance, Google Forms, all you need to do is just to prepare the survey and the students can fill it in, and then you will have a summary of all of the results. What I'm going to do with you now is the following. I'm going to show you two different, let's say, two different surveys. And of course, there are many, but I'm just going to give you two different examples. So again, I'm going to share my screen. Sorry, today we're going to share the screen alone, but my point today is just to give you like hands-on activities and some of the useful resources that you can use with your students in the classroom. So let's go back again to sharing the screen. And let me show you the following writing survey. You can now see this survey. It's a writing survey. And as you can see, the directions are very clear. Students need just to answer the questions honestly. And it's very important to emphasize on the idea that this is just to help them. It's not about assessing your students. Here you can have like a lot of different questions. Like, I'm not going to read the questions, but here is an example. Tell me about your least favorite parts of writing or your favorite parts, types of essays, and they just here need just to circle the types that they prefer. For instance, the type of writing that they engage outside the school, which is called personalizing here. When you link the lesson that you're teaching to their personal life. So I think, for instance, teaching emails is very important for the students. And I think most of the students, you expect that most of the students will choose this one. And then once the students, you can take, by the way, this survey and add it to the Google form, or you can make it editable so that you can get automated results. Other questions, here you can just ask them what aspects of writing do they need help with most, and they just need to check all that applies. Maybe some students face some problem in organizing their ideas into paragraph or choosing a powerful specific words. And that would help you at the beginning of the year to know how to prepare your online content for the students. Another one is this one, which is a simple one. It is a famous one. It's ESLP 82 questionnaire. It's a self-assessment of English writing skills. And here you can see the students can rate themselves from 1 to 5, where 5 is the highest. And it starts with the I can. So that students, I'm not going to go through, of course, I'm just showing you. One means never, to rarely, sometimes, often, and most often. So here is the scale that you can use. And it helps them to know more about the steps of writing. For instance, you have general writing strategies, before writing, during writing, and finally after. General learning strategy. That is another way which is really important to do at the beginning of the academic year with your student, whether on online or face-to-face. But because today we're talking about teaching writing online, that would be very helpful. And as I told you, these are just some examples that we can use with our students at the beginning of the year. Of course, there are many, and you can create your own. Let's go back to the comments and see if you have any questions so far. I'm trying my best to follow the comments. Dana says Padlet is a really great application. Thank you, Lamis. She said that Padlet is an easy tool. Yes, I'll try today to let's say to provide you with some simple let's say some simple tools to be used. Someone is asking for the content. Yes, I'll try to put it on the chat, or I'll send it to the people who are in charge of the QRTA Facebook page, and we can find a way to share it with our English teachers. That would lead me now to talk about something different. Now I'm going just to have like a chit chat about, before moving to other applications. It's really important to differentiate between two different types of writing. We have what we call a process and product writing. And that's very important to know the difference between both. And it is preferable to teach writing as a process, not as a product. Just to remind you, and I'm sure that most of the English teachers are aware of the difference between both, but just to remind you, in a process, in the product writing, the emphasis is on what the students turn in to us. And it's also, teachers spend much time evaluating. It concerns for formal correctness and assigning writing, but not really teaching it. You're just assigning the writing for the student, but you're looking for the product, so you're not teaching it. However, in the process, as Dr. Murray said once, it's discovery through language. So it looks like discovery through language, or it's a process where the classroom time is divided among the pre-writing, the writing, and the rewriting stages. So you check out their first drafts, you give them feedback, and we're going to talk about feedback and how to give feedback, inshallah, in this session. And you also talk about the writing, which means that how they did and their concerns, their frustrations. And in process writing, we have multiple drafts with teacher intervening when appropriate. So that would give the students the chance to write and write and write. How can we do this? I'm going to give you some practical ideas in online learning. We have what we call high stakes writing and low stakes writing. I'm going just to give you some examples of the low stakes writing. For instance, what we call journal, the e-journal, or writer's notebook. Here, Padlet would be a perfect tool to use, where you ask the students to write for 10 minutes each day. So asking your students to write 10 minutes for each day, that would help them, let's say, improve their writing skills. And all you need to do is just to provide them with the prompts, and sometimes ask them to come up with their own prompts. Also, there is something called the writing marathon. In writing marathon, you spend the entire class period on writing. So in each 10 minutes, you give them a new prompt that would last, for instance, for 30 minutes. So you're giving them like 3 different marathons. How can I do this? You can do it by asking the student using, again, Padlet, or you can ask them to write on the chat, or sometimes we have the webinar with the students where we have a discussion about something, and this is what we call integration. We talk about a topic, for instance, friendship, and the students start start, let's say, brainstorming about adjectives that are related to friend and friendship. And then you can put them in breakout rooms where they need to write, like, come up with a paragraph, and then you can let the students work individually. It's very important to keep a balance, even in online learning, between the individual, pair, and group work. That's related to the difference between process and product writing. So to conclude, I think that we need to teach process writing, not product writing. Let me check the Facebook comments if you have any comments. Rola Adwan said, to have a good product in writing, teachers must scaffold students with the correct directions. You're right, it's very important the role of the teacher, scaffolding the students and not spoon feeding them is really important, because most of the time what we do is we don't teach writing, and then when it comes to the summative assessment, we just ask our students, okay, go and write about the following topic, and that's not the way writing is taught. Noura Ramadan is asking if the session is going to be recorded. Yes, it's recorded, Noura. Taraf suggesting CISO. Yes, it's a good, I think it's a good tool. Thank you so much for the interaction. And I'm trying my best to follow up your comments and to answer any question that you raise. Now, let me now talk about something related to students grade 1, 2, and 3 maybe, and it might work for maybe up to grade 6. I'm going to share the screen again. There is an application or a website called EducaPlay. EducaPlay, in order to know what EducaPlay is, I'm going to share my screen and show you what EducaPlay is. Let me go to EducaPlay again. Yes, here we go. I think you can see my screen now. Here, this is a very simple website. And let me give you an example. If I'm teaching my students how the colors, and they know the colors, but they need to know how to write the colors. We used to have it in face-to-face. We might ask the student to write them, dictation or writing on the board. But this is a very simple one. Let me check this one for you. For here we have the EducaPlay. You just on start, and you can change and edit the time. And all you need to do is just to have an account. It's free. And you can add your own list of let's say, vocab or whatever the exercise is. So because teaching vocab is related also to writing. So if I click on start, as you can see here, we have yellow, orange, purple, white, black, blah, blah, blah. So this is like the crossword. The students see, for instance, this is yellow. So here we go. And you give the students like a marathon. You give them, I think 30 minutes is a long time. You might give them 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. And that would be very helpful. And the student will enjoy it, will find it very useful. And you can make sure that they can write it in the right way. Here is one example. Let me give you another example. For instance, if I'm teaching, let's say, just a minute. Yes. If I'm teaching that new vocab and I wanted to teach them in a reading text, and that so that the student can use these when they write. So someone might ask, this has nothing to do with writing. No, it has, because you need to have vocab in order to know how to write. So if I click on start here, you can just see here we have, this is what we call close reading, or it's fill in the gap. The students can use these words and they need to understand the text. And then you might ask them, they might use this one as a template, and you might ask them to talk about maybe their favorite sport following a specific template. But before that, you need to shed the light on some of the words or vocab that you would like your students to be familiar with. So all you need to do is just to take the word and to add it to the, let's say, to the gaps here, and so on. you just take it. I didn't read the text. If we just click in this one, yes, here we go, and then once you click on check, students can check their score. You can see here the score is out of 100, and the number of tries, you can give them more than one time to try it out. If you have, let's say, if you're teaching the process of writing and you wanted your students to know about writing, not writing, to know about writing and the process, this is just an ad. Okay, so if I click on start here, as you can see, what does essay mean? Step, edit, gather, organize, and these are the process of writing part of. And here we have what we call, this is the matching between the for instance, a group of related sentences or whatever, and you can use one of them. I didn't read them, but all you need to do is just to let's say match the words with their definitions. And again, we have score. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I hope that would be of great benefit. Let me write it on the chat to you. I'll write the name of the app on the chat. It's EducaPlay. I'm trying to follow up the comments, guys. We have another website for Arabic language. Nida asking, I think we have one. Unfortunately, I'm not an Arabic teacher, but I think we have languages. I think we have very rich resources. So the name of the app is EducaPlay. Yes. This is very, very interesting app to be used. Okay, let me check the comments again and see if you have other questions. Najat said that teaching vocab is very important in writing. Yes, of course, indeed, it's very important. Uday says, interesting apps, Khalid. Thank you, Uday. Rasha says, very useful. Thank you. Nida also is saying that this website is very useful. Thank you so much. As I told you, it's really important to know how to use the app. There are millions of apps, but the most important thing is to know how to use them, especially when teaching writing. It's very important to take care of this. I'm trying to gather, let's say, and to talk about lots of apps, but as you know, this is just one live session, and I hope that I can cover lots of useful tips to help you when teaching writing online. Now, when it comes to teaching, like you're teaching, like, let's say, students how to write an essay, for instance, and that would be for grades 8 to 12, for instance. Many schools, as you know, have switched to a block schedule with 45 minutes class periods for the e-learning. So I think we need to have the students meet synchronously for a quick mini lessons. In other words, for instance, we have what we call chunking the content. And by chunking the content, I mean that rather than giving the students the task of writing an entire essay in one sitting, no, we can chunk them, divide them into different mini lessons. For instance, you can teach the thesis, and it's very important to use videos with the students and provide them with, let's say, templates, and then, okay, go now to the breakout rooms, start drafting your thesis. And in the following class, you go to topic sentences and teach them the topic sentence and how to write a topic sentence, instead of teaching all of these, let's say, tasks in one class. And then you move, as you know, to the introduction paragraph. Maybe if they're using research, if you're talking about advanced writing, citations of the research, the body paragraphs or supporting paragraphs, the transition, how to make transition, what are the linking words that should be used, conclusion, how to conclude the paragraphs or essay, and the formatting. So add in additional mini lessons based upon specific student needs as you see them complete each part of the essay. I mean, it's like a jigsaw. And then by the end of these many lessons, the students will be able to write an essay instead of giving them just at once. Today we're going to talk about how to write a descriptive writing, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. No, students should go through these steps online because, again, as I told you, students may get bored if you spend a lot of time talking about writing and then asking them to write a full essay. That's one thing which is really important, and it depends on the readiness level of your students. And you know, when to add, let's say, more lessons, or you might merge two topics together. That's for a chunking time, what we call chunking time, which is really crucial and important when teaching writing online. Now, let's talk about something different. Suppose that I'm teaching, I asked my student to write something, and now it's my turn as a teacher to give feedback to my student. And I bet that this is the most difficult part for the teachers, because if you have like 4 sections and 4 classes, and you have more than plus 100 students, you can't give all of them the feedback that they want or you want. So how can I give the student effective feedback, but not at the expense of my time as a teacher, and vice versa? So first of all, you can give them written feedback from time to time. The second one is using the verbal feedback, in oral feedback, they call it. In face-to-face classroom, you can talk to your student directly and give them feedback. However, in online courses, you can use what we call mote.com, and this is one of the apps that you can use if you ask your student to write in Google Sheets. If they are using Google Documents, it's like using the voice notes on WhatsApp, and you can record up to 30 seconds. And there are some apps that allow you to record more and more. And there are different apps you can check out and use if you want to record your voice instead of writing. That's one way. Another way is including your students and engaging them in the process of giving feedback. And this is what we call the peer assessment. How can I do this online? Let me share with you this video. There is an app, a website called Peer Grade, and Peer Grade is a super useful website that is mainly concerned with giving peer feedback. In order not to talk a lot about it, I'm going just to show you this video about how it works. It's just only 1 minute video, or maybe more, 1.5 minutes. We're going just to watch it together. So I'm going to share my screen again, and let's see how it works. I think you can see my screen now. No need to listen to the sound, because the script is written. I think we need just a minute. Let me stop sharing, and so that you can, some prefer listening to the speaker. Let me just again share the screen, but this time with sound. And this is very important. Sometimes when you share on Zoom, you need just to click on share sound so that students can hear the sound. So here we go again.
Giving feedback to your students is important, but when you're faced with budget cuts and busy schedules, feedback is often sacrificed. Peer evaluations offer a way to reduce time spent on grading, while also providing quality feedback and encouraging critical thinking. But when you're faced with budget cuts, Peer Grade is a simple all-in-one peer assessment platform that gives students peer evaluations of learning experience, time spent on grading, while also providing quality feedback and encouraging evaluation. But when you're faced Students upload their work to peer grade. When the hand-in time closes, the student's work is automatically distributed between students. After distribution, students anonymously evaluate and give feedback to other students' work. Students upload their work to peer grade. Feedback is delivered when the hand-in time closes. Not only do they receive helpful feedback, but when students take part in the evaluation process, they learn from teaching, assessing other students' work, reflecting on its quality, and formulating constructive feedback. Not only the peer evaluations and peer grade, but when not just for students. We're here to make it clear to teachers to get data-driven in assessing other students' work, what students are falling behind, and which are doing a great job, and what evaluation criteria is not working. We help you answer these questions and many more. Peer grade is built on the foundation of years of academic research, and we use proven statistical tools to ensure that everyone is evaluated fairly. We know when students disagree, but we aren't just concerned with stats. At Peer Grade, we believe educational software does not need to be boring and hard to use. Being intuitive and engaging, evaluated fairly.
I think that's enough.
But we aren't just
So
concerned.
again, this video shows you how to use the peer grade. And as you can see, all you need to do just to have an account. It has a free version and the paid one. And then once you give the student an assignment and you give a deadline, once all the students submit their assignments, the peer grade will anonymously and automatically distribute the scripts, and students will give feedback to each other using this very interesting website. I'm going to share my screen with you again. I created an account there, and I'll show you the website. Here is the website. Here, for instance, I gave the students the assignments, and then I asked them to assess each other. But how can they assess each other? Of course, we need to have rubrics. So you need to provide your student with rubrics. So you have two options. The first option is to create your own rubrics and upload it on this website, Great. Or you can find ready-made rubrics. For instance, if I'm teaching my students how to write an email, and I'm looking here, I'm now in the library of this website. So I just want to write how, or you can find ready-made, say how to write an email, and you look for it. Here we go. Here is an example. So this is a rubric that students that can use with when they assess their peers' work. And it's really important that the students don't know each other, which means that the names are hidden, so it's anonymously. Because sometimes students have conflict of interest because he's my friend, so I will not give him like low grade, or I'll not give them that let's say areas for development or whatever. As you can see here, is there an appropriate subject line? Does the subject line capture your attention? Blah blah blah. Lots of questions. So once the students answer them, and here is a space where the students can leave, as you can see here, comments, something that your classmate did well, and something that your classmate could improve at. So this is a very interesting, let's say, website to use with your students. Let me go back to the comments and see if you have any comments about this website. Muhammad بحكي لي there is, yes, we're trying to fix this out. I'm not sure if you're hearing my sound twice. Okay. I think everything is okay now. I'm trying now just to check out the comments. Is the sound clear now, please? Would you please just leave a comment on the chat if the sound is okay now? Thank you, Rula. Now it's good. Thank you. Thank you, Rula. So again, Iman said here, gathering information also is important. Yeah, it's very important. Sorry for welcome to technology. Maybe there was a problem with the sounds. Again, dear participants and dear English teachers, this is a very interesting, let's say, app to use peer grade. Now, I'm going to try, if they're still sending me that there is a problem with the sound. Yes, now it's clear. Okay, it's clear. It's good now. Thank you. I'm sorry, guys. Let's go back now to another app for creating rubrics. So, you know that sometimes you can create, you need to create rubrics for each lesson, but how about general writing rubric for all the online lessons or face-to-face? Here is another website. It's called Teachnology. This is super simple. All you need to do, I'm going just to share the screen again so that you can see the app. Sorry for sharing the screens for many times today, but I'm trying my best to provide you with lots of useful resources. Sorry for here again, we have what we call Teachnology many times today, but and all you need to do is to add the name of the school, for instance, QRTA, title of your rubric, let's say teaching writing online, teacher's name, you can see Khaled, and then you choose a picture that you would like to appear. All you need to do is to add the name in your rubrics. You can choose anyone. Let's check this one. Let's say once you clicked Khaled here on generate writing rubrics, you would like to appear in your rubrics. Rubrics will be generated. Check this. So here is the title of your school. And here's the title of your lesson. Here is your name, and you can add others. Now, here you can make it editable, I think, or you can take it, copy paste it, and add it, for instance, in Google Forms or whatever. And you can look at the criteria here. We have the organization, the content knowledge, the grammar and spelling, I think, or you can take it, copy paste it, and then you give the student content. You might be using it with the students when they peer assess each other, or when if you want to assess your students. That would be a very, very useful website to be used with your students. So I'll again add the assess your students. That would be the comments website to be used. Let me add it on the comments. You can find it now on the comments. I'm not sure if the sound is clear now. Oh, there is a problem. Sana saying there is Lubnam Hidat says again not clear while sharing the videos. We don't have a video now. Is the sound okay now? I'm sorry about it, guys. Now it's clear. Thank you, Mohammed Zriyat. Again, as I told you, this is a very interesting website if you want to have what we call to create rubrics for your students in online learning. Last but not least, I'm going to give you what we call another one, which is an app, a website, where you can use what we call new vocab with our students. I'm sorry again, guys. An app, because of the website, the sound, where you can hear me now, use what we call new vocab with our students. Here we have what we call video words, and the video words, it's taken from the word visual words. So you visualize the word. Let's explore it and see how it works. Here we have what we call video. Here all you need to do is to write, type a noun, a verb, an adjective, or an adverb, any word. And if you wanted to know what these symbols and colors, the codes of these colors related to, you just need to read these ones. For instance, some are related to duration, others for also see topic domain, blah, 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 blah. And colors, let's try the word education. Related to, you just need to read these ones. For instance, some are related to duration. As you can see, also it created lots of words related to the word education. Need to read these ones. For instance, some are related to duration. And the students can go to this website if they would like to have a lot of new vocab, or they are not sure of the use of these words, or maybe they know it's education, but they don't know the adjective, so it gives them the adjective and with the definition. So again, it's called Veggie Words. I'll try to put it now on the chat to you. So Veggie Words is very helpful if you wanted your students to help them while writing to have, yes, thank you, Rasha, for writing it on the chat. Bayan is asking, when you finish sharing, would you mind explain more about the vocab website? Okay, Bayan. Again, Veggie Words, you choose a noun, a verb, an adjective, or an adverb. You just need to type it, and then it gives you everything related to this word. What is a word for? What is it? Is kind of what? Member of what? Part of what? Similar to? Where? Let's say synonyms and antonyms also. Derivation, a topic domain that are related to the word. Education, for instance, and anything related to the word. We can use this interesting website. Is the sound clear now? Again, I'm just trying to figure it out. So let me check if you have other questions. Welcome to online learning. So that happens. We're sorry about the problems in the sound again. So again, to wrap it up, teaching writing is really tough but interesting, especially online. There are different websites that you can use with your students if you would like to teach writing online. I tried today my best to provide you with some, let's say, useful resources that you can use with your students. And I'll try my best to share them with you. Here is also finally a list of some collections of writing and resources and tools that can be used for language learning with technology. And these are specific, they are tailored for teaching writing and even grammar online. This is the name of the resource. Here is the link, tools that can be used for language category and the source of this. I'll try, we'll figure out a way to even share this document and other documents with you, inshallah. If you have any question, please, I'm going to follow your comments on the Facebook and see if you have any comments, because we're going to end up this session with Kahoot. If you would like to play Kahoot with us today, we have just 3 simple questions. You can join the Kahoot, or you can leave your answers on the chat. Inshallah, ما يكون في مشكلة بالصوت. One more time. Let me have any comments here. Lubna said, thank you very much. Very useful apps. Thank you. Thank you, Rola Adwan. Vidword, is it a website? Yes, it's a website. Bayan said, always trying to find something like that. Thank you, Bayan. We tried our best to give you some useful links. Shadi says, very useful apps. Thanks, Khalid. Thank you. I'm waiting if you have any question. I'm following the comments. Okay, if you don't, let me now go to Kahoot, and let me in a second and check out the sound. So now I'm going to add the Kahoot link on the Facebook page. If you would like to participate. And I'm going to give you the, I'm going to share my screen. All you need to do is to go to kahoot.it and use the following link. Let me share the screen again with you. Here is the link that you need to use. The link that I sent on Facebook. All you need to do, or you can easily just and use the following. Go to kahoot.it and then use the following code 4047225. On Facebook. All you need to do, we're waiting for the players to join us and use the following. Go to kahoot.it, wait just for a minute, and then we're going to start. If you can't join Kahoot, you can leave your answers on the chat. All you need to do, we're waiting for the players to join us and use the following. Go to kahoot.it, wait just for a minute, and then we're going to start. So again, if there was a problem with the sounds, now, as I told you, you need to go to kahoot.it, and then you need to use the following code 4047225. Once you use it, we'll have 3 simple questions. If you can't join Kahoot, you can let's say, add your answers or leave your answer in a comment on Facebook page. I'm just wondering if everything is okay. If it's not working, just go to kahoot.it. I'll write it on the chat again. Kahoot.it. And the code is, I'm trying just to copy it to you. For the sake of time, yes. Now you can find, just Google it, kahoot.it, and then use this code 4047225. Here we have Mohammed Al-Rakat, we have Jassar, we have 5 participants. I think we need to start. In order to start, I wanted to share the screen again. Let me check it out now. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start it. We have 6 participants. Others, you can join us and you can leave your answers on the chat box on Facebook. Here we go. Teaching writing online. The first question, and you'll have 20 seconds for each question. Classroom time divided among pre-writing, writing, and rewriting in process writing, product writing, process and product writing. We still have 8, 7. So the answer, of course, is the process writing, because it cares more about the process of writing, so that we have different stages, pre-writing and writing itself and the rewriting. Promising, someone's called Promising is the only one who answered this question correctly. Let's see the second one, true or false. It's important to engage your students in assessing their own writing in online learning. Is that true or false? Remember when we talked about peer grade? So is it important to engage them in assessing their writing? And the answer, of course, is yes, it's true. And again, here we have Promising. I don't know the name. We have Jassar, number 2, and Mohammed Al-Rakat. Welcome, Mohammed. Long time no see, Mohammed, in the 3rd place. The last question, it's a funny one. What was the title of this session? The title of the session is Teaching Writing Online, Teaching Writing, How to Teach Writing Online, Teaching Writing Online, Seize the Online Writing Opportunities. So the answer, only two answered the question correctly. It was the fourth option. Let's see the winners with us today. Number 3, Muhammad Al-Rakat. Number 2, Jassar. Welcome, Jassar. No rewards, that's Jassar. And number 1, promising. I don't know the name, but promising. You're a promising teacher. Rabah, number 4. Well done. And there is a code 404, number 5. I hope that you enjoyed the session today. And let me just check for the last time your comments. Thank you for the ones who participated using the comments. Hanan Al-Umari, Muhammad Zirigat, Muhammad Abdul-Nabi, Hanan said this process, blah, blah, blah. You were answering the questions. Thank you all for your participation. I hope that you enjoyed this session with us today. If there was any technical problem, sorry for that again. And wishing you all the best. يعطيكم ألف عافية. تصبحوا على ألف خير.